From the studios of WWAY, it's the CB-McGrath Show. The CB-McGrath Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers, Papa John's, AARP, Reed's Jewelers, Molly May, and Harris Teeter. And now, here's your host, Mike Vaccaro.
Good morning. Welcome once again to the CB-McGrath Show. I am Mike Vaccaro alongside the coach, CB McGrath, talking about Seahawk basketball here today. We'll talk about an exciting homecoming game last night in Trask Coliseum. The Seahawks taking on the Hofstra Pride. Player profile this week, Nick Powell, one of the seniors on this team. And look ahead to what's become a very busy week for UNCW. 3 games coming up for the Seahawks this week. But, Coach, partly because of that, it is the postponement on Thursday. It's supposed to go to James Madison, but suspected, I guess, confirmed cases of mumps there. That game postponed. Again, you'll play that coming up this week. But what was that like for the week, getting ready for that game, and all of a sudden, okay, that's not going to happen, and now you're moving on to Hofstra?
Yeah, obviously we found out maybe Monday night, and so on Monday's practice, we just worked on ourselves. We didn't work on anything James Madison-wise at all. And so obviously Tuesday we knew we weren't going anymore, and so we could work on ourselves again. And then I actually gave them a day off Wednesday to, get their bodies straight and catch up on all their schoolwork. And then the next 2 days we worked on Hofstra. So it was sort of nice not to travel anywhere, get that extra day off, but it's going to be a tough week next week. We knew that, but the guys really stepped up and played hard last night. I told them we had no excuse not to. We didn't have to travel anywhere. Hofstra had to travel to Elon, come to us. They played Thursday night. We just practiced and got ready for this game, and so we had to give the maximum amount of effort, and I think it was, our most complete game of the year, which, getting down to the end, you want to start playing your best basketball, and I think we are. Yeah,
I asked you before the game if you thought there would be some rustiness for you kids having not played in a whole week, but you didn't think that would be the case this late in the season.
Yeah, no, I think I said if we played our first game of the year and then had like a week off and played our second game, there might be some rustiness just because it's so early in the season. Now they've played 20-some games and we've had 70-some practices, so the time off actually helped, because you get bumps and bruises, you get banged up, people are sick, and so you got time to recover. And we got some guys banged up now, and I don't want to have 3 games in a week, but that's the schedule that's ahead, and we got to get prepared for it, and we're excited about it. Getting a big win last night, not having to come down to the final minute and having all that stress, having the guys under pressure to make every single play correctly to win the game was a nice bonus.
Yeah, a rare game where you win big. You won by 20 against Drexel earlier this season at home. You win by 20 yesterday against Hofstra. But let's take a look at this or talk about this game here, because it was a meeting. You just played them last Thursday. You lost by 20 up there. So what was the biggest adjustment? What was the discussion like getting ready for this second meeting?
Well, we knew what they did against us that was really effective, and we didn't show up and play very good ball screen defense. They got guys that can really score, and they come off ball screens quite a bit, and you have to play it really well to affect their rhythm, and we did not do that. And obviously rebounding is really important to us and our team, and we got out-rebounded by 14 up there, and yesterday we really put it on them. So winning in this league is difficult. My daughter even said this morning, she goes, was it really hard to win by exactly 20? I was like, it's hard to win any game, not necessarily by exactly 20. I mean, I like exactly 8. I like any number spread that you win. But our guys were really focused, and we did a great job, I thought, for most of the game on our ball screen defense. We had a couple slip-ups here and there and gave up some easy shots, but for the most part, it's our most consistent effort.
Well, again, the lone game this week, so we're going to show you first half, then second half highlights, and we'll take a look now at the first half highlights from last night, the homecoming game inside Trask Coliseum. Here is our Harris Teeter highlights. Big shot there for Jaquie Brown to give the Seahawks a 5-point lead at halftime. 42-37 the score there. The Seahawks out rebounding the Pride at that point. And Coach, you shoot 49% that first half as well. So heading to the locker room, you're up 5, got a momentum on your side here. What's the discussion like in the locker room during that time?
I told them that's just one half. You know, I mean, we had to play 2 halves to win any game in the CAA, and we put it together. I told them, you know, we're doing a good job rebounding. You know, I said we're doing a pretty good job defensively. They were shooting 48%. You know, we were shooting 49%. So offensively, I liked what we were doing. We were playing unselfish. You know, Jaquie made that last shot, and that's the only shot he made the whole game. And then Jalen makes the first shot of the second half, the only shot he makes all game. But at least they're back to back. We got some momentum from that. You know, a bunch of guys had big games. You saw Marcus Bryan in the first half had a big first half. Devontae did not start, and so he scored the first 4 points, got off to a good start. And then obviously Hofstra came at us and scored, I think, the next 10 points.
Yeah.
But we just talked about that was a good half, and that's 5-point lead, so we're in position. But it's going to take a better half in the second half to win this game. We know what we have to do. We know how we have to play defensively, because at times in the first half we did it correctly every single time on the ball screens, and they're going to do the same thing. You know, and Wright Foreman was going to get his shots, and Pemberton we thought was going to get some shots, and obviously Gucci's on the offensive boards. We had to keep them off the boards, and I thought we did a good job.
So we get a 5-point lead at halftime for UNCW. We'll take a break here. When we get back, we'll have second half highlights from last night's win against Hofstra in Trask Coliseum. Back in a moment. Once again, halftime inside Trask Coliseum yesterday. The Seahawks enjoying a 5-point lead in this game and going to the second half, Coach. And really, it seemed like the entire game, the focus, it always is, but you want to get that ball to Kaycock here. He didn't play well in New York against Hofstra, but boy, did he turn things around here this time.
Yeah, Devontae played great, and as always, we want to get him as many touches as possible. Hopefully he feels comfortable. Hopefully he makes things happen, because he's an unselfish player. You know, obviously he's our leading scorer, leading rebounder in the nation, but he's very unselfish, and so if he's double-teamed or doesn't feel right, he passes it back out. He's not like he's a black hole. You know, I play with some black holes in my life, and it's not fun to pass to them, but our guys don't have to worry about that. They know if they work together and screen for each other on the outside, Devontae might find them. They get wide open looks, and it really starts and ends with him, and he's done a great job. And you know, other guys really stood up. Ty Taylor had 9 rebounds. You know, I don't know if I've ever said that yet, but you know, there's a bunch of guys. Ty Taylor started off on Wright Foreman, and Jordan Talley made some shots. And I mean, it was an all-around effort by everybody. But it was great to see Devontae get off to that great start and make a bunch of baskets once he finally got in the game.
And it's been some really good team basketball for UNCW. They did it in front of a sold-out crowd in Trask Coliseum, the first sellout of the season here this year. Let's take a look now at our Reed's Jewelers second half highlights. Big-time reversal of fortunes here for UNCW. Again, they lost by 20 in New York. They come back, win by 20 here, 90-70, and the rebounds were a big part. Plus 15 on the glass for UNCW. And the defense, maybe the biggest part, Coach, 39%. They shot 63% a week or so ago. So a big-time adjustment on the defensive end by your crew.
Yeah, obviously they felt really good at home, and they made a lot of shots. And, you know, with their travel, they played at Elam, like we said. They had travel down to us. We got a big enough lead that maybe they didn't feel that they could come back and started pressing a little bit and shoot some shots they normally don't shoot, because we held them at 31% in the second half. Now, I do think our defense was the best it's been all year, but I think their offense was a little bit stagnant and not as explosive as it normally is. And Wright Foreman turned his ankle but came back in. Another guy turned his ankle and came back in. You know, so they're banged up, but, you know, I'm really proud of our guys. You know, after the game, I was very proud of their effort. I said the reason the score was what it was is because they earned that victory with their play. And when you start doing that more often, more consistently, I was discouraged once again because we ended the game with a technical foul. That's our 6th of the year, and I told him after the game that's embarrassing for me as a coach to have 6 technical fouls and all of them be players. I mean, we have to stop. I don't care if the guy has both your arms and both your legs and you're trying to get him back. Wait till the ref blows the whistle. They'll give you your arms and legs back. You know, you don't need to push and flail and all that kind of stuff. But we've talked about it too much, and I'm tired of talking about it, but I want to apologize to all the Seahawks fans. That's not what I want our program to be known for, and hopefully it'll get better.
Well, it didn't affect the outcome here, fortunately, for the Seahawks. 25 points, 16 rebounds for Kaycock, his 18th double-double. How about Jaquie Brown with 7 assists, no turnovers here in this game as well. Big play for him. Overall, 5 Seahawks in double figures as they win this game. Again, 90-70, the final score. We'll take a timeout. On the other side, it's Nick Powell, this week's player profile. I'll introduce you to one of the 3 seniors on this team next. Time now for another player profile. It is Nick Powell here, one of 3 seniors for UNCW. Coach, he's just a walk-on on this team, but don't tell him that because he plays hard. He's been a big part of this team throughout the season and in his career as well, and has had a chance to play some games here this season as well.
Yeah, he did a nice job when I got here, and I've been really impressed with his work ethic, and I actually put him on scholarship for the 2nd semester to help him out. I said, hey, you've been here 3.5 years, and you've worked really hard, and you've earned this scholarship, so you can tell your parents, you know, we didn't make a big deal out of it. I want him to feel good about it, and so saved him a little bit of money this semester, but what he's done in practice and on a daily basis to show consistency and everything for our program that we want, he's been terrific.
All right, so some breaking news here that he is on scholarship this year. Dustin Dorsey has more with our AARP player profile on Nick Powell.
Hard to believe it's been 4 years that Nick Powell has been on UNCW men's basketball team. Even though he's not playing on a scholarship, he continues to work every day and count the blessings he's received since he's arrived.
Obviously, I came at a good time. You know, 3 rings in 3 years. So that success has definitely, you know, brought me back. But, you know, I've enjoyed every bit of it. So.
The mindset of a walk-on player is different than one on a scholarship. Every day is an audition for Nick Powell, so he keeps his mind and body ready for whenever his number 14 is called.
Yeah, I think it just starts with setting my personal goals higher than I have in years past, and you know, expecting to, you know, come in and be able to chip in or contribute in some way. So it's really more of a mentality thing for me. Just try to, you know, see myself as somebody that can, you know, make a difference on the court.
While Powell tries to create a personal difference on the court, Coach CB-McGrath tries to create a different game plan on the floor to fill the void of the 4 starters who left last year. The change creates other opportunities for Powell and other faces who haven't had their chances to make their impact.
Definitely guys taking on new roles that they haven't in years past. Guys that might, you know, sat out last year that are taking a bigger role this year, and then obviously new guys that are stepping in and, you know, trying to learn everything really quick. Definitely seeing new roles, people in new roles, and I think everybody's excited though to take those roles on and you know, moving forward.
To make a difference in the new role, Nick Powell spends the time off court to make sure he's at the top of his game.
Focusing on my defense, number 1, and then, you know, just on offensively, working within the offense and being ready to hit down shots.
If defense is something Powell feels he needs to work on, this team is certainly geared towards that. Coach McGrath implements several circuits to make sure the Seahawks are ready to face off against the best the CAA has to offer. That includes his own teammates who Powell battles against on a daily basis.
In practice, I mean, guarding Jalen Florence, Ty Taylor every day, that's definitely a challenge defensively. Vocally, Tally usually pushes me. He's one of the more vocal guys.
Once the season ends, so does the college career of Nick Powell. While the chapter ends in college athletics, he's not ready to turn the page completely on basketball, possibly as a coach.
Yeah, I've had conversations with Coach. Obviously, us being in similar situations in college, you know, him starting out as a walk-on and, you know, taking that grad assistant spot after his senior year. I'd like to follow in similar footsteps, obviously, but we'll see.
I'm Dustin Dorsey, and you're watching the CB McGrath Show.
Well, just yesterday's game to look at here for the Player of the Week, but some really good plays. Devontae Kaycock with our Player of the Week. Let's take a look.
Go!
Great hands for the big man, maybe a future NFL tight end. Who knows? There was an NFL GM at this game yesterday. Brandon Bean, UNCW alumnus there, not for Kaycock, but still great hands, great play. Devontae Kaycock providing our Play of the Week. We continue on now with the Glass Cleaner of the Week, the Molly May Glass Cleaner, and we stick with Devontae Kaycock. Again, just a one game, but typical Kaycock here, 16 rebounds, 8 on the offensive end, 8 on the defensive end, 18th double-double this season, Coach, for Kaycock.
Incredible. He's had an unbelievable year, very consistent. He's really worked hard. That's a credit to him. The skills that he possesses and that he's been working on, are sometimes uncoachable, and he just has a knack for getting the ball. He either reads the flight. I wasn't a good rebounder, so I don't know. It's just an instinct that he has, and he's terrific at it. And obviously, he's leading the nation in rebounding, on only being 6'7", but he goes and gets it for sure.
Yeah, great job again in that game yesterday. Continues to perform well, as Coach said. He leads the country in average rebounds totally, and is second in the country with those 18 double-doubles as well. This week's Molly May Glass Cleaner of the Week, Devontae Kaycock. And we stick with the junior from Riverdale, Georgia, as he's also this week's Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week. An overall nice game, 25 points, 16 rebounds, 85% shooting. He was 11 of 13 in this game, his 9th 20-plus point game of the season. So again, he's rebounding at a high clip, but boy, he can score as well, and he showed that yesterday.
Yeah, he did a nice job, and he just settled down. Looked like he got fouled there, picked up the ball, didn't get frustrated, just laid it in. But he did just sort of settle down. He didn't try and rush everything right away when he got the ball, because sometimes they're backed off seeing what he's going to do, and he needs to face up, see what he has, and he made a couple free throw line jump shots, which always makes him feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, preseason first-team all-conference, heading that way in the postseason as well with an outstanding season. The junior, again from Riverdale, Georgia, this week's Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week, Devontae Kaycock. We'll take our final break. On the other side, we'll look ahead to what's coming up this week. Again, a very busy week in conference play for UNCW. We'll talk about those matchups next. Take a look at the conference standings now heading into this final couple of weeks of the regular season. Charleston atop the standings, just one game up, though, on Northeastern, so right there on their heels. William & Mary Hofstra. The Seahawks, with what has transpired this past week, move into 7th place, sole possession of 7th place at 5-8 right now. So, again, continues to be very interesting heading into the final couple of weeks of this regular season. And we look ahead now, our schedule delivered by Papa John's this week for UNCW. It's going to be a very busy week with this makeup game. Tuesday at James Madison at 7 o'clock, and then the final 2 home games in the regular season for the Seahawks, Thursday and Saturday, hosting Elon and Charleston, both at 7 o'clock. But, Coach, let's talk about Madison here. So, okay, you're thinking you're playing them last week. You don't. But the discussions about them fresh in the heads of the kids as you get ready. Obviously, you look at the guards here with Stuckey Mosley and Matt Lewis, what they're doing this season for the Dukes. Yeah, they've been really good. They're really smooth. They hurt us at our place, but we held on and got that victory, and we just need to keep playing better, keep playing well. If we played like we did last night, we have a chance to keep inching our way up the standings, and we want to be playing our best basketball for the conference tournament, and we're projecting that way, which is good. Yeah, certainly playing some good team basketball coming off that win. Now going on the road again, 3 games this week, starting on the road at James Madison Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Coach, best of luck. Thank you, Mike. For CB McGrath and our entire crew, I'm Mike Vaccaro. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week for another edition of the CB McGrath Show.
The CB McGrath Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford Dealers, Papa John's, AARP, Reed's Jewelers, Molly May, and Harris